Lots of mistakes can be made when you're first coming into Medicare, and they can be really catastrophic. They can really mess up how your Medicare works going down the road. So we want to make sure we avoid some of these big mistakes. And I'm Keith Armbrecht, founder of Medicare on Video. I help people across the country make the right Medicare choices. And I'm going to go through some of the mistakes that I see pretty frequently that are pretty significant. So we'll go through that right now. The first one, and probably the biggest one, is folks that continue to work after age 65, which is absolutely okay. A lot of us want to work past age 65, but Medicare now becomes kind of an issue. But what you don't want to do is, if you are continuing to work and you work for an employer that has more than 20 employees, has good medical coverage, they pay for most of it, what you don't want to do is start your Medicare Part B. Too often do I see someone that is now 68 and has continued to work, stayed on their health insurance, but started their Medicare Part B when they turn 65. And what happens is they pay a premium for that Part B that does absolutely nothing for them. But not only that, it makes it more difficult when you come into Medicare, because Part B is a trigger. So if you are staying at work on your group coverage and it's creditable coverage, meaning it's real health insurance, Part B, when you start it, makes it just like you're turning 65. So you want to have that trigger available, because then it gives you the ability to choose anything you want without any medical questions whatsoever. So a big, big deal. If you are going to stay at work, keep your coverage, then you do not want to start your Medicare Part B. You really don't want to start Part A either. There's no cost to Part A, but if you do start Part A, what it does is it then makes it so you can no longer contribute to a health savings account, an HSA account. So if you do contribute at work, which a lot of people do, you do not want to start Part A either. They used to start it automatically. No longer do they do that. You have to initiate it. But if you're going to stay at work, you have real health insurance, your employer pays a lot of it, you don't need A or B. So there's no reason to start it. So just make sure that that's one of the things that we don't do, so that when we do come into Medicare, things work much easier. Another thing that I see quite often is folks stay at work and don't have real health insurance. And this is what is called creditable coverage. So in order to have entrance into Medicare and get what you want, you have to have creditable coverage past age 65. Now, things that are not creditable coverage is COBRA, and that fools a lot of people. They think they're on COBRA. A lot of times an employer will pay for COBRA when you leave for a number of months, but that is not considered creditable coverage. Also, retiree insurance in Medicare is not considered creditable coverage. So a lot of big companies may offer their employees retiree coverage when they leave, which is terrific. And that may be great as long as you're going to have that forever. If you don't have it forever and you come off of it at some point, it's going to get kind of messy in the Medicare world. So, if you have, again, if you're a federal employee or work for a large corporation, that's likely what you're going to have and you're going to want to have. And as long as they keep it that way, what you don't hope for is that they end up dropping it 10 years from now, which has certainly happened in a number of cases. But there are avenues coming into Medicare, but it falls then under guaranteed issue, which is different than open enrollment and having freedom of choice. So you want to make sure, if you're going to stay off of Medicare after age 65, that you have creditable coverage. We can help you with that. If you want to reach out to us, we can kind of walk you through that. Another thing I see is people that stay on their ACA or Obamacare coverage past age 65, which some may get a subsidy, so it's very inexpensive to have that, and they think, well, why do I need Medicare? It would cost me more to go into Medicare. I'll just keep my ACA coverage. Well, what happens is ACA coverage is not available after age 65. So even if you keep it and you're kind of getting one past them, what's going to happen is when they find out, they're going to send you notice and you're going to have to repay that subsidy, which it can be a huge deal. So especially if somebody's trying to save money on their health coverage. So if you're on ACA and you're turning 65, you pretty much come into Medicare. So if you need help, there's help within Medicare, there's Medicaid, there's things of that nature. So you just don't want to get stuck and then have to repay things that you've already had for a number of months, whatever that may be. So another issue that I see is with a Medicare supplement plan, you need to really review that coverage, kind of like your auto insurance or your home insurance, because a lot of times every year new plans come in that may be less expensive. They'll be exactly the same benefits, Plan G, Plan F, Plan N, but a lot of times a carrier will come in with a lower cost. So if we can get that same Plan G that we have right now for $20 a month less, or even $50, $60 a month less, which I've seen quite frequently, then it makes sense to do that. And I make it as easy as possible to do. Just visit MedicareOnVideo.com and you can put in your information. We'll email you the quote. And if it's less, then we'll do all the work from there and we'll make it easy to change. So those are some of the things that I see, and I'll try and update this on a regular basis on mistakes that people make so that you don't make the same mistakes coming in, but just pretty easy. Reach out to us, visit MedicareOnVideo.com, put in your basic information. We'll email you the cost of Medicare supplement coverage so you can see exactly what it is, and then we will walk you right through everything that you need to do. So I hope you found this helpful. Have a fantastic day. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you found it very helpful. A couple of other things that you'll also find very helpful. Number one, download a copy of my free book, Medicare Made Clear. I spent a lot of time and a lot of effort putting this together, and it has everything that you need for Medicare now and in the future, down the road. I have videos in the book. I have all the links that you need for things that you'll want to do within Medicare. You can access it right in the book. Very easy to do. Just visit MedicareOnVideo.com/free book, and you can download it for free. You can save it on your computer. You can save it on your iPad. It's a great resource to have, again, for now and in the future. Another thing that you'll find helpful is down the road, when you come into Medicare, sometimes it makes sense to do a price check on your Medicare supplement plan. So I made it very easy to do that as well. Just visit MedicarePriceCheck.com, put in your basic information, and we'll email you a quote on your same plan that you have right now, a G or an N or an F, whatever it may be. And likely we'll be able to save $20 to $60 a month in premium, because a lot of times plans come out with better rates. So if we can get a better rate for the same plan that we currently have, just makes a lot of sense. And then obviously take advantage of all the information on my website at MedicareOnVideo.com. I have everything that you need right there for understanding IRMA, understanding employer work coverage, everything that you need, especially in the guides and forms section, you'll find right there. So we update everything every year, so everything should be up to date and current with the right deductibles and premiums and things like that. Hope you found all this helpful. Have a fantastic day.